What's good, y'all? What's up with y'all chosen, Hope all is well, man. Y'all stay protected, man. But for the ones, we're gonna talk about, the world and why everybody's going crazy right now, y'all. Your energy is shaking the world up, you know. People are talking about this great awakening, y'all. But the great separation is happening now, y'all. If your energy is high, y'all, these fucking demons, y'all, there's nothing that they can do to try to get your energy, right? So the only thing they're gonna do is try to put roadblocks in front of you, or they're gonna try to, get on your bad side so you can react negative, you know. But you're a chosen one, family. You're above them. You've been through that. So these attacks, y'all shouldn't be nothing for you, family. Just keep your head high, family, because you gotta look around and really study yourself, Once you study this reality, you realize these motherfuckers just shallow, You're fighting parasites in a body, y'all. Yeah, they look physical, they're physical beings that we are against, right? But it's not a physical war yet because the shit hasn't hit, the fan. We are still in the spiritual war, y'all. So while we are in this spiritual war, that's where you gotta, be working on your spirit daily. Come outside and ground, family. You need to put this energy in your body, family. Especially if you have a lot of energy, because right now you're the biggest fucking meal on the radar, y'all. That's why every time you step out this bitch, y'all, there's a number of roadblocks or, checkpoints that are literally waiting for your, energy, because wherever you go, you flowing and, richness. And you're forcing those lower beings to feel that shift because you're already shifted, interdimensional, So think about it like this, y'all. When the shift actually happens, y'all, and, everybody starts waking up. Well, for the ones like us, y'all, who been awoken and shit, the ones that were living, in a different dimension, when everything starts hitting up, y'all, and the activation actually hits, we're gonna be the first to receive those powers physical form because we have been worked on already, y'all. We're trying to tell y'all this shit so you can upgrade your consciousness, y'all. If you don't have no upgraded consciousness, you ain't gonna get no powers, y'all, because you ain't going within yourself to see what the Most High is trying to tell you, family. You can't be looking at no fucking book, y'all, hoping that it's gonna save you. No book, nobody, and nothing will save your ass unless you truly want to save yourself, man. And it starts with accepting the reality around you and realizing that your power has been taken from you with or without you knowing. So what are you gonna do about the chosen one? But for the chosen ones, y'all, your energy is the most important thing, y'all. It literally wires up this whole world. When you come around, y'all, you bring heaven back here because people feel that energy that you are carrying, y'all. Why you think they like being around your ass, y'all? But at the same time, there's a lot of parasites in this world too, because there's motherfuckers that can't stand that light, y'all. But you gotta remember the story of God. Even Jesus, when he was down here, it was a light bulb trying to help people find the light. He was trying to tell them to be a lighter being, focus on the better things, eat healthy, or just, build knowledge so you can live a better life, y'all. The story is real, but, you don't gotta believe in that character because it really never happened, y'all, in a way to where you can say, oh shit, I seen him. If you never seen him, you don't know what the fuck went down. That's why I say, family, you must protect your energy because they're gonna try to get it out of you some way, And if you are a person who can't control your lust, or you're someone who is battling with, temptation, your ass is gonna fail out here, man, because you're not giving yourself enough respect to know that I take my power back, man. Fuck that. They ain't getting shit, y'all. So what they feel like they are left behind, When you put the work in, that ain't got nothing to do with you, Everybody's rising at their own pace, but since the rise starts within first, y'all, everybody's on different dimensions in the mind state. So the only thing you can really do, y'all, is protect your fucking energy, because if you don't protect that, well then they gonna use your ass for whatever they gotta get done, That's what a host is, A host keeps a parasite, so the parasite can do all negative shit, family? But You're a creator. You know, you have gold within you. You know, you are a light, y'all. And God chose you to be that beacon of light, y'all. So you have a job. You know, all of us chosen ones right now, yes, we getting attacked. But the Most High already knew that, and that's why He's with you. You know, you just can't be going against Him, thinking that these lesser beings or these lesser gods are going to help you get everything you want. You either going to live with the materialistic side of the world, or you going to stay spiritual. You can't do both, because once you transcend and at one, you know, you can't go back, family, you know. And for the people who are in the spirit, it's hard for you to get anything materialistic, because when you go around other beings, y'all, they're not on that vibration like you. So they gonna be in awe, or they gonna just break down right in front of your face, right before your eyes. Like, they not gonna know what the fuck to say to you, or they gonna feel like they don't even know what to do. Like, if they're, you know, glitching. Literally, these hoes is glitching, y'all, because literally, yo, when you come around and you give someone energy, I'm just looking at their ass, y'all. They dropping shit from their hands, you know. You know. That's your energy, family. That's how fucking strong your aura is, y'all. And the more you charge up, the more that shit it shines, you know. That's your power. That's what these devils be trying to buy from you. But if you have no fucking sense of clarity, y'all, well, you don't know what the fuck is going on. So you're not in control. You're giving your control away, you know. We are changing that shit, y'all. You know, we are the new, you know, celebrities, y'all. You know, a celebrity is someone who was looked at as someone that has helped and guided people. A celebrity ain't somebody who keeps everybody fucking lost and makes them worship them like they God. You playing God, y'all. And that's why God's gonna forsake your dumb ass, because you think that you can play this title, not knowing that whatever comes from the dark will come to the light, y'all. I hope y'all know that, right? Why you think everything is being revealed right now, y'all? Yeah, they distractions, but they still coming out, because spiritual law of the universe, everything must be shown to you, whether it's in a cartoon or whether it's, you know, from somebody that they told you firsthand did it, you know, don't matter. You can't go against the law of the universe. And once you know that law, y'all, you have free will. So what the fuck are you gonna do with that shit, y'all? I'm aiding y'all, man, and I'm reminding y'all that there's not too many chosen ones in this world, y'all. You know, a lot of people ain't gonna watch these videos because they can't understand the information that I'm presenting to y'all, because you're a low vibrational entity. You know, your body don't even have the right fucking particles within it to sustain this energy, because high information is high frequency, y'all. And if you can't vibe high, it's gonna go through your ass like a ghost, you know? You see how they playing with the weather, y'all? You see that shit? Us chosen ones, y'all, can think a simple thought, or literally call away those clouds, y'all, and the sun will come our way, because you are children of the sun. And once you know that, that makes you feel like you truly are powerful, because you don't need nothing outside of yourself to do that. All you gotta do is remind yourself that you are light as well, you know? But that's all I really wanted to remind y'all about, family, you know? Your energy is gonna help you in places that you may feel drained, man. When you go around a bunch of motherfuckers, y'all, you gonna feel like you in hell, because they're all in hell without them knowing, because they're in that lower ass dimension. That's why you feel that anxiety and all those fucking, you know, demonic entities when you walk around. But when they feel your presence, they get the fuck away from you, or they feel intimidated, because you're literally putting a microscope to their bodies, y'all, and you are seeing their asses for who they are, and they see that shit, y'all, and they can't do nothing about it, you know? You can't run from no more. You can't run from the light, y'all, because the light's gonna override anything that ain't supposed to be here, you know? That's exactly why these parasites and these fucking zombies gotta get the fuck on, you know? They're crumbling slowly, but when everything falls into place, you will see what I'm talking about, y'all, you know? It's gonna get dangerous out here, y'all. That's why I'm reminding y'all to protect your energy, because you see all these killings going on, people killing, you know, a lot of cops out. That's because a lot of people can't handle this energy, y'all. this energy is making everybody go fucking coco or psycho, because this energy that's hitting the planet is high energy, like I said, high frequency. And if these lesser beings don't even have that ability to tap into a higher source, what do you think's gonna happen? They gonna keep acting that way until they crash out and they die, because it's like a dog with rabies, y'all. Once your ass got bitten, they turned you, you know? That's literally what the energy around them is doing to them right now, because they ain't trying to heal themselves from within, you know? Let this be a declaration of, you know, peace, you know? We're the beings, the sovereign beings that bring peace to the world, y'all. That's why you can't get us out of our lower self, because we made peace with that being, you know? But think about that one, you know? I get attacked every day, y'all, you know, but I'm pretty sure you as well. So, you know, if you are struggling in life right now, take my story and let it motivate you. Let it burn you up from the within, because if you are getting attacked, the Most High is using that to fire your ass up like a firecracker, man. Because you ain't going, you know, metamorphosis without having that fire, you know, tick and at your, you know, soul, yo. You gotta feel that to metamorphosis in a way, to get your power back, to reclaim your throne, you know. It's, you know, aura. Let's talk about your aura real quick, you know. When the chosen ones step out, y'all, you can feel their celebrity because of how much energy they have within. You know, why you think you go unnoticed? When you step out, people will notice you, but when you look at their ass, they go to the floor, because your light is looking at their demons, and that's why they can't look at you back, you know. If they was cleansed and if they was full of light, they would look at you and have no fear whatsoever looking back at you, because they would know that y'all are on the same path. It ain't for everybody though, y'all, because once you see it for what it is, you realize who the zombies and who these fucking CPUs are, y'all. And once you know, game on, y'all, because all you gotta do is focus on yourself and your energy, y'all. Protect your energy, protect your mind, you know. If they go rampage, if they start spiraling, if they start, you know, trying to attack and shit, not you, but other things around you, because they ain't gonna be able to get around you. You know, you are divinely protected. I mean, you got spiritual beings next to you right now that will slide on a motherfucker if they dare try to touch you, you know. But that's the Most High protecting you right there, y'all. And that's better than anything physical, y'all, because you literally have, like I said, your shadow side, like Noob, you have your shadow side protecting you against these parasitic invaders or these demons that are trying to take away what God gave you, which is that light, y'all. He told you to come down here and purify the rest with your presence. But these demons, they will knock at your door. That's why you gotta keep that protection so these motherfuckers can't get in, you know? That's really all I wanted to tell y'all, family. But keep shining, man. We almost there, you know? We already winning this battle, y'all, because they can't knock you back down, you know? But I'll see y'all, family. We rising every day. I'll say, man.